Free auditions, free voiceover auditions. That is the topic of discussion on this morning's Morning Voiceover Huddle. How are you doing? Welcome. I'm Bill DeWeese, professional voice talent, voice actor, voiceover coach, voiceover demo producer. And every weekday at about this time, we get together for a few minutes just to share a thought, a tip, a strategy to help you move forward and make more money consistently in your voiceover business. This topic was on my mind this morning because I was recently contacted by a client, and it's not the first time this has happened, with a question. And that question was, do you charge for auditions? And the very fact that they asked me if I charged for auditions lets me know that there are people out there who require money in exchange for auditions. I think that is a big, big mistake. Auditions, well, first of all, let's back up. To make money in voiceover, you need clients. To get clients, you need opportunities. And in voiceover, how do those opportunities come? Well, they typically come through the form of an audition. Rarely, now occasionally, but rarely will a client hire you without you actually reading the script first, or at least a portion of the script, so that they can hear what you sound like on their script. I mean, makes sense, right? And when you require a fee for that, and my guess is there's probably nobody or very few on this stream that does this. I think this is probably done by people who are more in the what I categorize as the institutionalized voiceover talent, who have been around for decades and decades, and are still trying to do things the way they used to be back in the old days, and think that they deserve money for even auditioning for a job. And it just, again, in today's world, in today's economy, it doesn't work that way. And if you want to build a business, a voiceover business, then you need to be ready to do some auditions. It's like, when you go to Costco, what is the best thing about going to Costco? Yeah, it's the free samples, right? I mean, we all go to Costco because, yeah, they got cool stuff and you want to see the great deals and what's going on, but you like to go around and see what the free samples are. How many times have you sampled something with no intention of buying it just because you were just there to check it out and it was free? And what did you end up doing? You end up buying the stuff because that's what free samples are. Or when you went shopping for a car and in your mind you're thinking, okay, this is the kind of car I think I want, but I'm going to go test drive 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go to a bunch of different dealerships and I'm going to try them out. What happened? Well, the salesperson convinced you that you needed to test drive this car that you're interested in because, after all, you really can't make an informed decision unless you've driven it, right? Well, what happened once you got in the car? You fell in love with it. You had to buy it. That's happened to just about anybody and everybody. You want a client, a prospective client, to test drive you, so to speak. You want them to hear what you sound like on their project. It's your best opportunity to get the job. So if you hear somebody say, well, you really should be charging for auditions, turn and run. No, you should not be charging for auditions. Now, here's the caveat. There are some clients who it is their I was going to say tradition. I wouldn't say tradition, but it's their way of doing business in that they do pay. They invite a very limited number of people to audition, and out of respect for their time, they pay. You don't ask for it. That's just the way they do business. And on occasion, I'll be contacted by a client or a prospective client that says, we have this project, but we want to pay you to do this audition. I will gladly accept it if that's part of how they do business, because they've already done their work ahead of time, and I'm part of a very small group of people. So there's that. The other part of it is, does that mean you should be auditioning for everything that's out there? No. Especially since, you're doing it for free. And over time, what I've learned is that not all auditions are created equal. And you want to focus your time and your effort on those opportunities where you have the best shot. Meaning, for one thing, if I'm part of a cattle call audition of, let's say, 50 or more people, even if I'm personally invited, I don't participate because I know my odds get smaller and smaller the bigger that group gets. And because I have a marketing plan in place. Now, if I didn't have a marketing plan, sure, at least I'm doing something. But I have a marketing plan in place to make sure that all of my efforts, remember the 80-20 rule, 20% of your activity will generate 80% of your results. I'm obsessively focused on the 20%. What is the 20%? What are those few things that I can do that will get me the biggest result? And chasing after cattle call auditions does not rank within my 20%. So I think it makes sense to be careful about, what you do audition for. But this having a policy as a voiceover talent that you don't do free auditions is ludicrous if you want to build a business. So if that's you, I want to strongly encourage you. Well, first of all, I'd ask you, how's it working out for you? Is your business growing the way that you want it to? Are you getting plenty of opportunities? And if you are, and if that's working for you, if you're the exception to that rule, then I say, God bless and keep doing what you're doing. If it works, you keep doing it. But I would venture a guess, and I'd be willing to bet money that chances are it's not working out so well. You're trying to meet the expectation of somebody else that you heard say something, or you think it devalues you. Free samples do not devalue people. It can actually create a very positive impression on the client because they finally get to hear you and what you sound like doing their project. That's the holy grail of opportunities. That is it. So take those opportunities when they come and watch your voiceover business grow. Let's see who we've got on the morning stream. And as always, I always appreciate it when you let me know who you are, give me your name and where you're watching or listening from this morning. I like to do a little roll call every morning. We've got Mark Lane in Albuquerque, Corey in Wisconsin, Scott in Dayton. Let's see here, Austin in Chandler, Arizona. Bob, how you doing in Reidsville, North Carolina? Wade in Philadelphia. Phil in Tokyo. Nate is in Spring Mills, Pennsylvania. Bob in Brantford, Ontario, Canada. Melissa in San Diego. Kurt, good morning to you. We've got David in South Carolina. And JR in Austin, Texas. Marla in Texas. Patrick in Maryland. Sony, good morning to you. David in Louisville, what's going on? Rusty, hello in the UP of Michigan. Janet in Florida. Uh, MG in North Carolina. Dr. Bob in Clearwater. Megan, how are you in Manitoba, Canada? Gregory, still soaking wet in Ringgold, Georgia. Gertie, how are you this afternoon in Belgium? Rita, hello to you in Tucson. Luis, greetings from Oxnard, California. It's a very early morning for you. Indeed, yes. Chris in Columbus, Ohio. Stephen Oshkosh. Gregory. Gregory's asking, is that foam wrapped on your mic? No, what you're here. There's acoustic foam in the background, and then this is just a pop screen. It's an optical illusion that makes it look like there's foam. I wouldn't wrap foam around my microphone. Let's see here. Zach, how are you doing in Buda, Texas? Rob, what's going on? Costco, the best gourmet hot dog lunch anywhere, and I'll sample some beef jerky too. Absolutely. I've taken Vicky to a Costco a time or two for a lunch date. It's a cheap date. It tastes good. Good stuff. Mark, good morning to you. Greg in Asheville, North Carolina. Michelle in Indianapolis. Susan, New Jersey. Good morning from New England. Wally in Annapolis. How's it going? Paul in Greenup, Kentucky. Barb in Ann Arbor, Wisconsin. Ed in Miami. Hey, Mark, how are you doing this morning? Jerry, what's going on in Southern California? We've got AG is in mosquito-ridden India. Sorry about the mosquitoes. I was talking to, actually, that was my brother-in-law last night. We were having a conversation about mosquitoes, and not a big fan, got to be honest. Sandra in Dallas, Fort Worth. Jolie, going to see my daughter today. Jolie, that's awesome. You have fun. Nothing better than seeing the kids. Gregory, how are you doing? You got me on that one. Busted. All right. Well, that's, I'm just here to share, to help. I'm just here to help. That's it. And Robin, good morning to you in the UK. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate that. You're quite welcome. And guys, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I do want to mention this before you go, before you run. Remember that training event that I did on Tuesday night? I recorded it. Videos, if you couldn't make it live, videos are available. I've put a link in the description below. Go check it out, because if you're not making enough money in voiceover, it's because Two things. Either you don't have a good marketing plan, a marketing system, and you're not executing it. So you've got to have a plan and you got to be willing to execute it. And if you're missing the plan, then you can't do step 2 anyhow. So go to the link below, click it, check it out, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.